Ever wondered why some people achieve their goals while others struggle? The answer lies in habits, but not just any habits. Today we explore the concept of atomic habits. The power of small changes is often underestimated. It's easy to dismiss a tiny adjustment as insignificant, but don't be fooled. These small, consistent changes are like seeds. They may seem trivial initially, but given time and the right conditions, they can grow into mighty trees. Consider the principle of compounding interest. A small amount of money invested today, consistently increased over time, can result in a substantial sum in the future. This principle applies to habits too. If you commit to making small positive changes consistently, you'll be amazed at the significant transformation you'll see in your life over time. And here's the secret sauce. It's not about making one big change, it's about making many small ones. Remember, small changes today can yield significant results tomorrow. Now that we understand the power of small changes, let's delve into the technique of habit stacking. This is a simple yet powerful approach where you link a new habit to an existing one, creating a chain of activities that naturally follow one another. It's all about association. Let's take a mundane daily routine, like brushing your teeth. You've been doing it for so long that it's become an automatic action. Now, let's say you want to develop the habit of flossing. Instead of leaving it to chance, you attach it to your existing habit of brushing your teeth. So, every time you brush, you follow it with flossing. It's like a cue telling your brain, hey, it's flossing time. You're not just trying to start a new habit, you're making it a part of something you already do consistently. Through habit stacking, we can make new habits stick with less effort. Let's explore another key principle from the book, making good habits obvious. This principle taps into the four-step process of habit formation: cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit. It's the sight of your running shoes next to your bed, reminding you of your commitment to a morning run. The craving is the motivational force behind every habit. It's the desire to feel the rush of endorphins after a good workout. The response is the actual habit you perform, which in this case is going for a run. Lastly, the reward is the end goal of every habit. It's the satisfaction of having completed your run and feeling healthier and more energized. By intentionally creating cues and rewards that are obvious and satisfying, we can make our good habits irresistible. This is a powerful tool in building a life of productivity and success. By making good habits obvious, we set ourselves up for success. Goals are great, but they're not the be-all and end-all. The real magic lies in the systems we create. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's easy to get caught up in the end game, the big picture, the grand finale. But what about the steps we take to get there? That's where systems come into play. You see, systems are about the overall process, the day-to-day, the nitty-gritty, the nuts and bolts that lead us to our goals. Imagine you're a writer. It's great to have a goal of writing a book, but that's a big task. It's daunting. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and give up before you've even started. But what if you shift your focus? Instead of obsessing over the goal of writing a book, you set up a system to write every day. It could be for an hour, it could be for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. The point is, you're writing. You're creating a routine, a habit. And here's the beautiful thing about systems. They take the pressure off. You're no longer staring at this enormous mountain of a goal thinking, how on earth am I going to climb that? Instead, you're taking it one step at a time, focusing on the process, not the end result. And guess what? By sticking to your system, you're making progress towards your goal every single day. Before you know it, you've written a page, then a chapter, then half a book. And one day, you'll look up from your keyboard and realize you've done it. You've written a book. Not because you were fixated on the goal, but because you've committed to a system. It's a subtle shift in mindset, but it can make a world of difference. So remember, while goals give us direction, systems are the vehicle that gets us there. They're our roadmap, our guide, our trusty companion on the journey to success. Systems are the secret sauce to achieving our goals. But the concept of atomic habits is not without its flaws. While the idea of small, consistent changes sounds appealing, it can potentially lead to complacency. This is because the emphasis on minor adjustments might give us a false sense of progression, causing us to overlook the need for bigger, more significant changes when they're necessary. Remember, while atomic habits are great for establishing a strong foundation and maintaining consistency, They aren't always enough when it comes to achieving major milestones or making drastic improvements. Sometimes you have to leap, not just step. Additionally, the focus on systems rather than goals can lead to a lack of direction if not properly managed. Without clear objectives, it's easy to lose sight of why we're making these small changes in the first place. Like any approach, Atomic Habits is a tool, and its effectiveness depends on how we use it. So we've dissected the concept of atomic habits. Now what? Well, it's time to take all these insights and begin applying them to our own lives. Remember the power of small changes, the strategy of habit stacking, making good habits obvious, and focusing on systems, not goals. These are not just fascinating ideas. They're practical tools that can help you shape your life in a more productive and fulfilling direction. But here's the key. None of this matters if we don't put it into action. Knowledge without application is like a car with no fuel. It has the potential to take you places, but it won't move an inch until you fuel it up. So, let's not just learn about atomic habits, let's live them. So, which book would you like us to summarize next? Let us know in the comments below. Until then, remember to focus on the system, not the goal.